With that operating system platform comparison and all the trends that we discussed, I would like to switch the gears to one of the very important platform that as an enterprise we must consider, and that is mobile device management platform. When I say mobile device management platform, MDM is basically a solution that you can put into your organization or enterprise network, which will control your devices, smartphones, tablets, computers, laptops, all alike. So you have the enterprise policies such as like password cannot be free text. It has to be like alphanumeric with symbols and things like that. Those kind of policies you can directly enforce through these solutions. So doing a remote wipe or doing a remote installation, uninstallation, or blocking a device or erasing the device or locating a device or collecting the statistics from the device that how this device has been used, which applications, or block certain applications. Like so for example, if I'm giving the device to my employee which is supposed to be used for work, I would probably only open up Safari, not YouTube and all the other applications. Or maybe I will just block all other chat applications and just keep live my link or something like that. So those kind of policies that whatever enterprises have gotten, the one way of implementing it, the way you would like to have your computers control is MDM. And there are lots of MDM solutions in the market, Sybase, AirWatch, Boxstone, and all of them. And on the right side, what I have here is the magic quadrant from latest Gartner report. And there is a comparison between the magic quadrants that we had in 2011 and the magic quadrant from 2012. If you look at it, this is more like somebody is taking the gun and shooting at the bullseye and missing all the hit targets, right? You have got lots of them. But now the way mobile platforms are evolving and making the support available for the MDM solutions to utilize those security features into the solution, you see only some of them are actually able to keep up the pace. Like say for example, Mobile Iron, AirWatch, or FiberLink, Zenprise, or Good Technology. Good Technology is the only one which was like kind of leader in the 2011, has been able to still maintain its quadrant, but it is falling short. And if you see, there are some new players that are coming up. So if you look at it, MDM space is like pretty much getting cleaned up, and only the best of the industry are going to sustain there, unless and until something drastically different happens and people come up with different kind of solutions, or somebody from this part, the lower left quadrant, jumps into the right one. You won't see much changes. But the way MDM solutions are there today, a lot of support, security, and things like that are already implemented. And in the next session, Ajay and Dwarak will also talk about like what kind of MDM features that you would look at it. But if I would be a person who makes the decision about which MDM solutions to be taken, I would actually look at like these parameters, like whether it supports multiple devices, whether it supports policy enforcement, whatever I have in my organization has to be extended, all the security and compliance, all of the containerization in the sense like when you have the application is very well walled onto your device so that there is a very less leak going out of your application, or absolutely zero leakage going out of your application. So how do you protect your application in a container and in a sandbox, encrypting or whatever mechanism that you need to implement there? Or looking at like inventory management, like say for example, whether my devices are getting tracked because of geography changes or because of cell coverage changes, or maybe looking at like who is using 3G data, who is using Wi-Fi data, or maybe pushing my VPN settings or connectivity settings or network settings to the device remotely so that user doesn't have to worry about any of these things and directly the things come and sit in there. Or if I have to look at it like distribution of software, like so for example, there is a new application we have come up. We don't want to call like what we used to do earlier, get your laptop and IT team will install the application. No, that is no more the requirement. It's just over there you push the application to the device and it has to go there. That needs to be supported. Again, administration and reporting of like all the events that are happening onto the device. IT services management, overall supporting of the application, and basically the delivery model, whether you are ready to invest into the MDM solution by hosting the MDM solution or installing MDM solution inside your enterprise, or there are players like AirWatch which will give you a cloud solution, like as a subscription you just get the subscription and based on the number of devices to be supported they will charge you. So you don't have to invest onto that. So you have both of them. Based on what is your goal, you can look at these things, and these are like some of the ratings that looking at these parameters, this is basically taken from Gartner, and these are the parameters that we generally recommend whenever we have to choose the MDM solution. that we wanted to touch base upon is mobile enterprise application platforms, MEAPs. Basically, the way MEAPs came into existence, and this was a term coined by Gartner a few years ago, was there was a need for middleware integration. Like you have mobile applications, but no mobile application is powerful enough unless and until it connects to a heterogeneous backend sources. So a tool or a platform that allows you connect with the backend systems with all kind of connectivities, like could be web services, could be SAP, could be Oracle, could be anything of that. So a tool that allows you to make those connections and work or make your business solutions work onto your devices seamlessly is what basically MEAP is. And then there are some of the leaders in MEAP solutions like Sybase SUP. We used it into some of the largest implementations in healthcare segment, and there is a Gartner Magic Quadrant, and much like MDM, I have two different Magic Quadrants being compared from 2011 to 2012, and this is exactly opposite to what MDM was more like a matured, that was getting from more crowded to the less crowded space. But now if you look at it, there is less crowded space, that there were very less MEAPs, and now if you look at it, there are so many MEAPs, because now so many people are coming up with their MEAP solutions, and there are some of the MEAP solutions that actually do not really qualify to be called as MEAP solutions, but they call themselves as MEAP solution, and they have been still rated by Gartner, and they are there in the report. The fact that you will see here is basically the way operating systems are evolving. Every 6 to 9 months there is a new version coming up, and for MEAP to be able to keep up with those operating systems, to be able to support them, is going to be a real key challenge going forward. And that is the reason, like if somebody is there who supports only one platform or two platforms, they make way to here. If you look at the original definition of MEAP or requirement of MEAP, they say minimum 3 platforms must be supported. But then there are some of the players here, they don't even have a real MEAP that as good as define what SUP does or what Cyclo or Antenna does. Even Antenna has a MEAP which is like not a real MEAP, but lots of things taken from places, and they have a collection of libraries that if I want to call it as. So that kind of things. That is the basic thing. But if you look at it, there is one very important trend that I want to highlight upon is basically you have a MEAP, and now there is a new term that we would like to use here, that is MADP, which is like Mobile Application Development Platform. Because if you look at the trend, and this I discussed with one of our friends in the morning as well, is basically MEAP has been only being used to do a faster development for your phones. You get your connectivity, your security, your basic authentication routines and everything ready-made through the MEAP. So your application development becomes faster. But what MEAP is supposed to do is that it is an enterprise application platform. Biggest deal is connecting to SAP, Oracle, and lots of other small business application or large applications that you have in the backend. But now if you look at it, people use MEAP, but still end up doing custom middleware. Like say for example, you have some applications that was built like on your like it's a homegrown system. You have your own interfaces. It's not complying to some sort of like generic interface requirements or like SOAP services or JSON services or RESTful services or something like that. This is something that you need to anyway develop it. So when you are developing those interfaces, you say, if I'm developing these interfaces, let's target it to the mobile. So you got one-to-one connection anyway. So that is kind of like custom middleware that you are anyway building. But you are still using MEAP, because MEAP is still going to be helpful for developing that faster development onto your application layer. And these are the kind of transitions that we are seeing. And if I have to again go a step further, that actually should be a cross-platform application framework.